G'day world, Macarin, and coming to you live from Hong Kong for Rise 2018, and we're here with Alex. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, doing great. It's been a long day. It's still the buzz is going on. Everyone's still networking and meeting all sorts of cool people. How's your Rise been so far?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Met some really good, engaging people. Some really good opportunities. Again, networking, meeting people is one of the best things about being here in Race. It's great to have so much energy as well with everyone.
Yeah, it is. And the energy's still going as well, which is awesome. Some good vibes.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it so far.
So how was day one? What did you get up to?
So day one I did the pitch, which was great. A lot of people there watching the pitches. Had a mentor session, and then also did a pub crawl the night before as well, which was a great place to meet a lot of people. Really shows the diversity of people here.
Yeah. Cool. And there's lots of good food and stuff happening in the streets and lots of cool places to meet.
Oh, Hong Kong's an awesome place for kind of eating and drinking. A real highlight of Hong Kong. A pub crawl being in the centre of Soho, where you've got all these, just wander through the streets and you see lots of different bars and pubs and stuff. So
great.
It's really fun.
So give us a bit of background on what is Qlix?
Qlix
does.
Yeah. So we're an internal communication platform for schools. So we help teachers communicate with one another. So we're a bit like Slack, but optimized for schools or for teachers.
Okay. So more of a like a messaging platform rather than like how would you describe it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a completely messaging platform. So we get teachers speaking to one another through instant messaging. And one of the hardest things as a teacher is actually knowing who you want to speak to. Because you are, say, teaching two students and something happens and you want the next teacher who teaches those students to know about it. But in order to know about it, you've got to know which subject those students have got, what the teacher is who teaches those subjects, what set they're in, and that just requires too much time. No teacher's got time to do that. Yeah. So with our system, with a click of a button, you can say, Paul and John, they were doing this together, and therefore we now need to send that to that teacher, and it just goes to the right teacher, and that teacher receives it when they start teaching those students.
Yeah. Sounds like my teachers might have needed that when I was in school, because I was always in trouble.
Well, exactly. It's a case where something will happen in the classroom, and the students can get away with it again in the next lesson and the next lesson. I remember those days. It's good for a student, but not so good for the teacher. Right?
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be excited for that.
As a student, maybe not. But cool. It's in the long-term vision, right?
Yeah, long-term vision. So this is great in terms of. So from my memories of school, we would get 3 assessments all in 1 week and due on the same day.
Yeah.
And that's because of the lack of communication between teachers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And these sort of things which are pretty ridiculous, right? You have really crunch periods where everything seems to happen at once and you just feel like you have no life, and then other times where you're just kind of chilling out. And it shouldn't really be like that. If teachers communicate with each other better, then it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, so you're solving a problem not only for the teachers, but maybe relieving some stress for the students as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about in terms of kids not being able to get away with things because of the system, which is potentially a bad thing, but there's plenty of upside for the student as well. Especially when we look at more of the welfare issues around, say even like bullying issues, being able to record bullying issues better, especially with cyberbullying being such an issue nowadays, and it all happening very, very quickly. Teachers be able to deal with these issues far quicker before they escalate into far more serious issues by the end of the school day. That's when they only have time to deal with them.
And maybe even understand the situation better, so that the student comes into the next class and already is aware, so that they can't create any more.
Yeah, so even if you've got a simple thing like, say a family member passed away over the weekend, that can be notified to the teacher. So at least they, when their homework's not done, they're not just at the student being like, well, why haven't you done your homework? And then this student is feeling like crap, right? So actually just a teacher can have that information and be just, okay, fine, and just move on and don't make an issue out of it because of the situation.
Yeah, that's great. So how has your journey been so far? What were you doing before you started this company?
So beforehand, I was working at Accenture Digital back in the UK, and I worked on a lot of digital projects, digital transformation projects in mobility, digital analytics, as well as personalization of content.
Okay, great. And what brought you to Hong Kong?
So I was working at a startup previously, which I was kind of doing a technical role for that startup.
Yeah.
And the reason I started this was when I was teaching back in the UK as a maths teacher, I basically had a situation once where I had an ADHD student I was teaching who was kind of performed really badly in the lesson, and I then sat down with the Senko later, and then she said, oh, he forgot to take his medication this morning. And I'm like, well, that would have been really useful to know about kind of 2 hours before the lesson, not now, too late. And it's very, very frequent that information is just received far too late for a teacher. And then once you receive it far too late, it's just irrelevant, it's useless. So there must be a way of getting this information to teachers at the right time.
So you're based in Hong Kong?
Yes. Yeah.
So what would be your insight into the ecosystem here? Why do you love it so much?
So I think there's several reasons I love Hong Kong. So on a personal level, I love the food and drink here. I love the environment. It's very dynamic, diverse. So it's really, really fun. Everything's changing. You walk down the same street like every day and you'll notice something different. There's just so much happening just in one street. And I also love the fact that you have a mega hub of a city, and then you can take a bus 15 minutes and you can be sat on a beach surrounded by mountains. And there's not many cities in the world where you have that such extreme between urban and rural, which is awesome.
It's like a proper concrete jungle.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You've got the real city centre, which is just mad, right? Concrete jungle. But then you've got like south side of the island, which is beach, and you go hiking, and you're looking around just rolling mountains, and that's fantastic.
And what about from the startup side of things? Like, what's so good about the ecosystem here?
So I think from the professional point of view is the fact that Hong Kong, I think, is really upcoming and really putting a lot of focus into startups. Hong Kong's always been known as a financial hub, and due to kind of fintech, they're kind of seeing that opportunity of bridging together kind of finance and the startup environment. So that's bringing up the startup environment, not just for fintech, but also for other domains as well. So you've got a load of like co-working spaces that are all coming here. You've got conferences like this, which are here, and that's fantastic. Yeah, it's great, and great example. So so we've already explained the lifestyle side. You love the pub crawl and the food, and I think everyone does that. So there's a lot of nightlife, and then there's also the hiking in the south side of the island where you can go to the beach and chill out and relax. Absolutely.
So best of both worlds almost.
That's what I really enjoy about it. It's a really diverse and dynamic place.
Great. And so to finish up the conversation, what is your objective here at Rise? Like what do you hope to get out of it? Networking, investors, you did a pitch,
Yeah, so I think it's getting exposure, it's getting the idea to people, see what they think, get feedback, see what they think it could be, improve it, what they think the issues are, things to think about, forming relationships with people who are working in, say, schools or other educational things, how they could use it. So I think, it's a case of a lot of just research and meeting people to then consolidate over the next few weeks and then improve the startup based on that feedback. Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us, Alex, and wish you all the best. And make sure you guys keep watching for more coming to you live at Rise Hong Kong 2018. And thanks to our content partners, Start Me Up Hong Kong and Invest HK. Check her out. Thanks, guys. Cheers.